In the headlines, IGP bans officers in Mufti from carrying rifles. Rural Kaduna women take on menial jobs to feed families amid economic crisis. NUC hikes private university application fee from 6 million to 30 million naira. And on the foreign scene, trial begins for 84 Congolese soldiers accused of murder, rape, and other crimes. Hello, welcome to News Updates on Trust Television. I am Lilian Ogazi. And now to the news. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, has warned police officers in the country against human rights violations and other misconduct. According to a statement by the first spokesman, Muyiwa Adejobi, the IGP said he has received various complaints regarding rights violations through the force complaints channels. He warned that any conduct violating human rights wouldn't be tolerated and would be met with severe consequences. The statement warned all tactical squads against the misuse of power and improper dressing, emphasizing the importance of operating in approved uniforms. It added that all tactical squads are to ensure compliance with the standard operating procedure while properly dressed in the assigned uniform for the particular squad. Now moving on, as Nigerians continue to battle with the ongoing economic hardship, widows and some less privileged persons in Ungwa Masara local community in southern Kaduna are resorting to menial jobs to feed their families. Trust TV's Bello Musa, who visited Ungwa Masara community, reports that most of the women who are engaged in the menial jobs neither received formal education nor acquired any form of skill. The report.
A visit to Ungwa community in Jama local government area in Kaduna State reveals that many women peel cassava to earn a living. They get paid according to number of bales of cassava they peel. This helps them to cater for their children.
Died
and left me sick at the time I came to this community to stay with my relatives. I was later introduced to peeling cassava, and I take care of my 4 children from this job.
I
report here by 7 o'clock in the morning and stay till evening. Yet, I hardly get 1,000 naira. In most cases, I make 900 naira. Although, I stay with my younger brother. I, however, feed myself from this work.
Many women also engage their children in the business to raise money for their school fees. David Tanko and his entire family peel cassava here to raise money for the collective upkeep of the family.
This is the place we got to get money to chop. Then from there we will eat, and from there we will pay something. We'll do so many things to help ourselves. From here, we have built 5 basins. Then I'll keep the rest for school. Then from there I'll solve my problem for the school. This work helped my life because of I have many things to do which will help me and enjoy my family.
Blessing Ruben is a physically challenged person who lost her husband a couple of years ago, leaving her with 2 children. She now peels cassava to feed the children.
Sometimes if I work from morning till evening, I can make 1,000 naira. But if I come here late, I may get 600 naira from peeling 3 bowls of cassava. I feed my children from this work and also pay for medication. if my children fall sick. I also pay my rent from this work.
Blessing, who was introduced to this job by her friend, often comes with her little daughter who assists her with the job.
Kamin zo wannan aikin matsalolin da ba zan ma iya kirga ba shine na samu na sai dai in bi gidajen.
Before I come here, I would beg neighbors to help me with gari to feed my family. My friend introduced me to this job. During the rainy season, I get drenched by the rain while doing this work. So I became discouraged, but she encouraged me not to stop.
The stories of these women is a reflection of the untold stories of many women, especially in rural communities, who live with myriads of challenges without access to opportunities for a better life. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
Positive events have emerged from the University College Teaching Hospital Ibadan, as the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company IBEDC has pledged to restore the hospital's electricity supply within 48 hours. This follows a closed-door meeting between the Minister of Power, UCH management, and the IBEDCE officials. The parties reached a consensus on tackling power fraud and theft within the hospital, as well as devising a mutual acceptable plan to settle outstanding debts. The report.
Following the development, the Minister of Power visited the hospital to assess the situation and find a lasting solution to the power disconnection, which has severely impacted patients, medical staff, and hospital operations. The visit also aims to identify the root cause of the issue and develop a comprehensive plan to prevent similar disruptions in the future. This move is crucial in ensuring the hospital's continued provision of quality healthcare services.
There are basically three types of consumers, or three sets of consumers here. We have the clinical services unit of this territory, which is the hospital itself. That's what most people know. That's what the public is aware of. When you say UCH, they refer to the hospital. But beyond that, there is the College of Medicine, which outrightly belongs to the University of Ibadan. And they have two hostels. The Ayodele Falashe Hostel and the Alexander Brand Hostel that consume a reasonable amount of energy in this territory, but is lumped under a single UCH consumer points.
The minister, officials of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, and the management of the hospital also went into a closed-door meeting and later briefed newsmen on some of the strategic action plans agreed upon to address the situation.
Don't just close the breaker and then everybody connects again and then 2 weeks later we're off.
Yes.
That's why we agreed that it has to be systematic. We need to first of all yank off through the guidance of the hospital management, take off all those commercial loads first. They will advise us on the essential loads to be connected for a start, like the hospital, the clinic, and all that. And they will connect. And then upon reconciliation agreement from the other people on actual tariff that needs to be paid, then they can be connected.
There's a need for a special intervention or whoever can help us, to fund some of this. It's beyond the capacity of the hospital, unfortunately. But the general public, most of the time, don't know what we are facing, and they just pontificate without evidence.
As efforts were underway to resolve the power disconnection, students from the College of Medicine, UCH Ibadan, gathered at the hospital premises to process the outrage. The minister and his team intervened, engaging in lengthy discussions to calm the frustrated students and address their concerns.
We have decided jointly with management of UCH to commence restoration of supply to this university systematically. Within the next 24 hours, I have acquired or procured a new transformer that will separate the clinical services from the rest, so that going forward, UCH will identify its own power consumption. Another transformer will determine the power consumption of the College of Medicine and its hostels.
The power outage at the University College Hospital, which has persisted for more than 4 months, was caused by the disconnection of the hospital from the national grid by the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company due to an outstanding debt of over 495 million naira, risking the lives of patients and disrupting medical services.
The National Universities Commission, NUC, has jacked up the application fee for establishing private universities in Nigeria by almost 400%. The Commission's Executive Secretary Abdullahi Ribadu, in a statement on Monday, said the price hike is for better coordination and to ensure that newly established private universities are positioned to meet the challenges of the 21st century. The NUC increased the fee for purchase of application forms for the establishment of a private university from 1 million naira to 5 million naira. The Commission also raised the processing fee for applications for the establishment of a private university from 5 million naira to 25 million naira. The NUC said the 25 million naira reviewed fee will be communicated to applicants who have purchased the application form at the former rate of 1 million naira but are yet to pay the processing fee for their application. The Commission also suspended further processing of all inactive applications, including those of private open universities. Now, away to some political issues. The opposition coalition has dismissed claims that the Supreme Court ruled against Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, stating that the court only struck out his appeal after he voluntarily withdrew it. According to coalition spokesperson Ikenga Ugochinyere, Fubara's withdrawal was based on the fact that the 2024 budget had already been fully executed, making the case irrelevant. Here's the report.
Ugochinyere emphasized that no court ruling favored the pro-Wike sacked lawmakers and confirmed that Victor Okojumbo remains the legitimate Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. He urged the public to disregard misinformation and called on the media to verify facts before reporting legal matters.
So because that budget had been well spent and well executed, and the massive project is all over there in Rivers, the Trans-Calabari Highway, and numerous projects, now there was no need to continue that case at the Supreme Court. So what the lawyers to Governor of Rivers State did was to withdraw the appeal, because there's nothing we're appealing against. 2024 is gone. 2025 have been passed. 2025 is what is being executed as we speak now. So it was a mere total academic case, and that is why they discontinued that process. And in that case, the court will normally strike it out. So where is the victory?
Opposition coalition spokesperson. He also criticized the pro-Wike faction for misrepresenting the court's decision, clarifying that the 2024 budget cycle had ended while the 2025 appropriation was now in effect.
But desperation will make you be in PDP, you be in APC, you be in SDP, just one man in all political parties. Because you are aiming for the treasury of the people. What does not even belong to you?
He encouraged Governor Fubara to remain focused on governance and ignore political distractions.
Now, away from that, the House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts, PAC, has directed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences, ICPC, to investigate 2 former permanent secretaries of the Federal Ministry of Labor, Williams Alo and Yerima Tafa, over an alleged 3.2 billion naira financial infraction during the tenure. Expressing concern over the increasing disregard for parliamentary oversight, the committee criticized ministries, departments, and agencies for consistently ignoring invitations to address audit queries raised by the Auditor General of the Federation. The report.
Chairman of the committee, Bamidele Salam, announced this resolution on Monday, revealing that the committee has sent 7 letters to the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment, requesting its officials to appear and respond to audit queries. However, the ministry failed to respond or provide any justification for its absence. Additionally, the ministry has not submitted the necessary documents to address 32 audit queries from the 2020 audit report.
We sustain all the recommendations of the Auditor General and direct the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission to invite the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Labour and Employment for the year 2015-2019, Mr. William Nwankwalo, and the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Yerima Peter Tarfa, 2020-2021, to answer questions on the expenditure of the various sums of money totaling almost 10 billion naira, which the Auditor General found against the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment in those years.
We are dealing with our institution, and we are also an institution of the government by the Constitution. And I think we should trade along that way of authority. This assembly have its authority, and we should enforce it. Whoever is there, let them respond based on the Constitution. Least we breach our rules by thinking we know anybody there or somebody there was our colleague.
On this note, since they believe they are not under the Constitution of Nigeria, the only option we have is that the relevant anti-corruption agencies take charge, and the CEOs, heads of those agencies are invited to explain their infractions.
Furthermore, the committee has summoned the permanent secretaries of the Federal Ministries of Transportation, Women Affairs and Humanitarian Services, Adeleye Ayodeji, Mariam Kashiro and Yakubu Adams Kofamata, respectively. They are required to appear before the committee within 72 hours.
By this resolution, we are extending the benefit of the doubt and further opportunity for fair hearing to these three accounting officers of the Federal Ministries of Transport, Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, and Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to appear before this committee within 72 hours. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and uphold all the recommendations of the Auditor General for the Federation contained in this very important document.
Salam emphasized the committee's commitment to resolving the audit queries from 2020 and 2021 reports before the submission of the 2022 audit report in April.
This is News Update coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, we'll take a look at how Lagosians push for job creation and price regulation as inflation soars. More to come right after the break. Do stay. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Updates coming to you from Trust TV. Let's take a look at some of our headline stories again. IGP bans officers in Mufti from carrying rifles. Rural Cardinal women take on menial jobs to feed families, and economic crisis. Now moving on to other stories. Adamawa State Governor Amadu Fintiri has officially flagged off the construction of the Jimeta ultra-modern shopping complex, a venture valued at 19.7 billion naira. The project seeks to enhance economic activities and attract investment to state with an anticipated completion time frame of 18 months. Gibson Swadigo reports from Yola.
At the groundbreaking ceremony, Governor Fintiri, alongside his deputy, Kaleta Farauta, and members of the Executive Council, received a warm welcome from supporters and onlookers. In his address, Governor Fintiri said the initiative was a strategic effort to develop a dynamic commercial hub that will stimulate economic growth and create employment opportunities. He noted that the shopping complex will feature modern retail spaces and state-of-the-art facilities, thereby contributing to the government's broader vision of modernizing both urban and rural landscape within Adamawa State.
The Jimeta Ultra-Modern Shopping Complex is a landmark initiative which is not just about building a structure, it is about creating an enduring legacy, a vibrant commercial hub, and an environment that will attract investment, foster economic growth, and create jobs for our youth and our people in general. It is set to become a key part of the economic landscape of Adamawa State. bringing together both modern retail spaces and state-of-the-art facility. This is part of our broader vision to modernize the urban and rural landscape of Adamawa.
The Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Ishaya Dapari, commended the governor's dedication to economic development, noting project's potential to significantly transform the state's business environment, and assured stakeholders of their commitment to support the government's initiatives.
The state government has philosophy of nobody should be left out and nothing will be untouched. The business sector has been touched by the construction of this ultra-modern complex.
The 19.7 billion project is expected to be completed in 18 months' time. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Nigeria's economic crisis is intensifying, with citizens across the country, particularly in Lagos, grappling with soaring inflation and rampant unemployment. The rising cost of living is pushing many to the brink of forcing them to make difficult choices and, in some cases, reliance on loans just to afford basic necessities. And as Nigerians continue to hope for policies that will ease their burdens, let's take a look at this report all the way from Lagos.
The economic downturn is palpable in Lagos, where residents are facing the realities of escalating prices, especially for food and transportation. This situation is mirrored across the nation, fueling widespread frustration and anxiety.
And there's nothing we can do now. Now, the way we see, and that is how we take it. We only manage it.
The way the country is now, can you just tell me how the way?
Things hard now. Things hard now. Because before, if you buy a bag of rice, 70. But now, 7,000, you go buy a bag of rice during Jonathan. But now, if you don't get 80, 90, you cannot buy a bag of rice. So you cannot compare that time and now. There's no amount of money you collect now that will be okay because of things are cost.
The impact of inflation extends beyond everyday goods, with essential industries like real estate also feeling the strain. The increased cost of building materials and chemicals is reportedly leading some developers to cut corners, raising concerns about the structural integrity of buildings and contributing to a risk of collapses.
So we all know there's inflation, high prices of commodities in the markets, which makes a lot of youth that they want to leave this country because of that. And the unemployment and so many things are happening in the country, which we as youth, we are not pleased with. Even as a union member and as a unionist and as a comrade. For example, I work with Lampe, National Union of Chemical. Because of the high price of chemicals in markets, and because of that, people tend to buy low quality, substandard products because of the change in price. So people don't live up to standard again just because of the inflations. Things have rises, prices have rises, things have changed. People don't live up to standard. In fact, some companies are folding up. Some companies are folding up because they can't meet up. They can't meet up again. So the cost of living now is now very too high in Nigeria. Even to live as a youth, so difficult for a lot of people. So that's why many people want to leave the country. They have the intentions of leaving the country. So they're even using different means of traveling out. Some they're not even going by normal airplane or aircraft. Some are going by road, risking their lives just because they are not just comfortable, they are not just pleased. Many people are going crazy because of what is happening in Nigeria, because of this bad governance.
Things are hard now. Things are very, very hard in the markets. No money to buy things now. If we put our goods, no customers. You might say from morning to night, for customer to come and patronize you, there is no customer because there is no money. Everywhere is dry now.
As the economic hardship deepens, citizens are urgently calling on government to take decisive action. They are demanding measures to stabilize prices, create job opportunities, and improve overall living conditions. Until then, many Nigerians are left to navigate the harsh realities of these crises, struggling to survive in increasingly challenging times.
And now to the foreign scene. The trial of 84 Congolese soldiers accused of murder rape and other crimes against civilians in the country's conflict-battered east opened on Monday. The soldiers are accused of having broken into civilian homes in several villages of the Kabare and Kalehe territories in the eastern province of South Kyiv over the weekend, raping several women and killing at least 12 people. The accused soldiers were brought before a military court in Bukavu, the provincial capital of South Kivu, on Monday. The civil party requested the death penalty for all the accused. Congo lifted a more than 20 years moratorium on the death penalty in March, a decision criticized by rights activists. The last execution took place in 2003.
All these soldiers, they have already killed 12 people whose deaths we deplore, and there have been numerous cases of rape, pillaging, and theft. All that is why they are standing there today. When we listen to our clans are saying that they were abandoned by their commander. They were abandoned to their fate. They even spent 4 days, a week, 2 weeks at the front without eating, and today they find themselves here. Are they the perpetrators? Who are the real perpetrators? They're even sick people. They're people who we brought from the hospital. They are sick and they were brought here before the judge. Is it not the case that they were sacrificed by their commanders?
With that, we've come to the end of News Updates here on Trust TV. Do not forget you can follow us across all our social media platforms or join our live stream on YouTube for more news, more information, and more documentaries. Thank you for watching. My name is Lilian Ogazi. Bye for now.